evening, everyone, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 39. Well, guys, after watching the episode, I have to say, no one has called the happy parade about the missing Kenji. Yes, folks, after last week, after, Hanto's forgiveness and seeing Kenji trying to live out his life after, getting that set forgiveness, he gets killed by Glotta, and, there's no missing, person's report about missing Kenji at all. And I get this feeling that after, next week's episode, which, by the way, guys, we are 10 episodes away until we say goodbye to the King of Sweets himself and his boyfriend and the Suck Man, and, of course, our beloved goddess, Sachika. Yeah, it's going to be tough to see it go after almost a whole entire year. But thanks to Gavv that I pretty much forgotten the trash that is Gachard. But in any case, I'm rambling already. No one has called Sachika about the missing Kenji because, I said last week, he's the only one who knows how to cook those Japanese treats. And with him gone, well, I think we're going to see the store being closed. Yep. But in any case, let us begin our tale with Shoma and Sachika, who just returned from a painting job, which, by the way, we see Shoma with, his face paint, and it just looks too perfect. It really does. At least to me. They came from a painting job, and I'm like, you look too perfect, Shoma, because you look like you came from a carnival instead of coming from a paint job. And I've seen, it's not dirty. I would have seen, paint all over you, all of your clothes and your face, look like you've been through the mud. But in this case, paint. But no, it just looks too perfect on your face. It does, at least to me. And Shoma asked Sachika, is this the only job we have the entire day? She said yes. And so he figured, okay, I think it's time for me to go visit Uncle Dente because he hasn't seen him for quite a while, and looking at his second Gavv being, missing teeth and all, I figured, I want to go visit him. Which goes to Sachika, and she is remembering the promise he made to her about, okay, please do not tell this to Shoma about my missing teeth. Please, I beg of you. And you see her starting to feel a little bit guilty. But Sachika, no one's going to blame you. If anything, once the secret is out, I'm sure, Shoma will be like, look, I understand Uncle Dente didn't want you to tell me because of the promise, that sort of thing. But in any case, she feels a little bit guilty, so she decides to join in and go see him as well. And then we go to the next scene with Lizelle. She is paying a visit to her sister-in-law, and she is pretty much rubbing in her sister-in-law's face because, for one thing, she goes and tells Glotta, look, my father's order is it's like I'm not getting any presses, and my father's order is slow. It's getting slow. So what's going on? And she looks inside the briefcase, with presses and everything. And she's like, oh, no wonder it's slow because you're getting poor quality presses. And Glotta's like, look closely, bitch. Those are good quality. I picked them off myself. So, I don't know what you're talking about. You're blind. So you could already see, she hates her new sister-in-law, and the sheer idea that she is looking at her new captured items and be like, oh, like, what is this? This is not rich. Like, what are you talking about? And to make matters even worse for Glotta, Lizelle continues to rub it in her face, like, "Hey, have you heard that your brother has undergone surgery?" What? What surgery? What are you talking about, Lizelle? And Lizelle continues, like, "Oh, your brother has a new Gavv now, and it's very similar to your bastard brother's Gavv." And Glotta was like, she has that look on her face, like, what the hell? She is pissed, and she just stomps away, just walks away from Lizelle, and that's how that scene ends. Like, she's pissed. Like, she's the last to know about what. And maybe she was, like, surprised because Jeeph always tells her everything, I guess, but this time, no. But let's face it, guys, Jeeph has gone the deep end. He belongs in the loony bin. He is very obsessed with revenge. But then again, he's being haunted by Sheeta's ghost. So, I mean, if you get haunted by a ghost, I mean, anybody can go all cuckoo crazy. But, So, after the mean look, we go to the next scene with Shoma and Sachika with bags of goodies, and they were about to enter the cave until they see Rakita hovering over Dente, and Dente's on the ground. Look like he is dead, but then he comes to because he has hit a snag. Like, the antidote thing has stopped because he has quote-unquote writer's block, and he cannot work, and he is sick and tired of eating the same snacks, and he wants something different because now he is on his phone showing off, these pictures of these desserts to our heroes and be like, this is what I want, and whatnot. And Rakita points out, well, you can't go to a random cafe the way you are, because now with everyone knowing what a ganyut is, you get shot on the spot here. And we get this funny cutscene where Dente is at a cafe eating, this ice cream, this dessert, and he was about to eat it until you see all these people screaming and running away, and then all of a sudden, government police surrounds poor Dente and starts shooting at him. So yeah, now in the past he used to get away with it, but now not anymore. So he's at a crossroads here, like, oh man, I want these desserts. But luckily, Sachika to the rescue, because she has this bright idea of, you know what, since you can't go to a cafe, we can make the desserts for you. We could just make it homemade. And what beats homemade, right? Absolutely nothing. And Dente is like, you know what? Yeah, that's a great idea. And then I will start working and whatnot. And then I will get to try these desserts and whatnot. And of course, Sachika and Shoma will be like, yeah, let's do it together. And then they drag poor Rakita, and Rakita just stares at those two. I'm like, no, what? Am I getting dragged again? So we get to the next scene, to our favorite soap opera as the Ganyu world turns. Neylv, I need to recreate this, guys, for you. I need you guys to have this funny. I want to give you guys the gift of laughter. So I decided for this scene, I will recreate what happens. So let me set the stage, okay? So Neylv is examining poor Jeeph after his latest defeat last week, and the diagnosis, like, he's fine. He's didn't suffer any major injuries. Like, he's okay. And this is where Jeeph comes up from the table and let me recreate this, guys. Neylv, can you explain to me why I lost? Because I gave up my body to have this hideous thing, this hideous Gavv. like stuck in me. Like I replaced my second stomach for this stupid device thing that reminds me of so much of our evil, disgusting half-brother Shoma, and I have the same powers as him, and yet I got my ass kicked. Can you explain that to me, Neylv? This is Neylv. Well, the only thing I can tell you, brother Jeeph, is that, well, you just got the surgery, you just got the Gavvs, and it will take some time for the Gavv and your body to adjust, so it just takes some time. What time? How much time, brother Neylv? I need to know. I need to have my revenge. I need to kill him. Sheeta's ghost, man. Sheeta's ghost. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole entire scene. Because he has gone crazy with the crazy eyes. He doesn't like the fact. He doesn't like the answer Neylv got. He received from Neylv that. Yeah, it will take some time for the Gavv to adjust to your body, that sort of thing. I mean, Neylv, come on, tell him the truth. Tell him that he sucks. That's it. He sucks. That's it. Like, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. He doesn't suck, but, I mean, and with him being a Kamen Rider, it's just, a huge boost. But even then, I'm like, no. The reason why you lost is because you suck. That's pretty much it. But then if you would have told Jeeph the truth, and then he would have gone much crazier than usual. But, he got the crazy eyes. He grabs him by the shoulders. I'm like, come on, tell me the truth. Why did I lose? And then Lizelle shows up to calm his ass down and be like, hey, relax. You survived. That means this thing you have in your stomach is working. So just relax. You're evolving. It's fine. You live to fight another day. It just takes time. You just need to have patience. Relax. And Jeeph comes down and just the couple leaves. But before they leave from the lab, of course, Lizelle gives Neylv a message from the president. The president is asking for him to do more research on the poison gas that Langle used a couple of episodes ago. And of course, Neylv accepts. And as they leave, Neylv gives out this expression that he has enough. Like, he's annoyed by this. He's just like, he just throws his stuff on the ground. I'm like, ugh. And this is the first time I ever seen him like that, because he's always calm. He's always collective. He's always smiling with this evil smile. But now it's more like he is exhausted, he is annoyed, and maybe even frustrated. Maybe working with the president, for the president, is not what he thought it would be. Sure, he's giving money for his research, but it's like maybe it's more trouble than it's worth. I don't know. But why would he give that expression when everything is like happy-dory? Which clearly it isn't, but so we go to Sachika and Rakita. They're walking, and Rakita is kind of annoyed at the situation where, like, why do we have to make desserts for this old man? Because he's all whiny. Why do we need to tolerate that? And then this is where Sachika opens up a little bit to Rakita that Dente is not feeling well, and it's just he's not feeling well, which causes Rakita to feel a little bit bad, because he's like, well, I haven't noticed Dente being sick and all. I visited him a couple of times, but he realizes that, him fixing up his driver to figuring out the antidote, it takes a lot out of him, so he just failed to pick up the signs of him, being all sick. And he is reminded of what happened to his little brother. Like, he didn't pick up the signs of him, being all different, being addicted to the candy crack. It's just he's starting to feel a little bit guilty. And Sachika said, like, look, it's understandable. Like, look, people are very good in hiding what they're feeling inside. They're very good. So I wouldn't be surprised that you didn't pick it up because Dente is he knows how to mask his feelings and in terms of sickness and whatnot. So he's very good. So don't worry about it. Don't feel bad about it. And then, after that little talk, they both go to the plate shop. And Rakita has the talent when it comes to picking up good plates for desserts. And he reminds me a whole lot of, someone who is good with fashion. How they have good fashion sense and they know like what is good, what is not. Oh, this shirt is good with this, but these pants, like very good fashion sense. In this case, Rakita has good plate sense. And there was one moment where, he had to pick up this giant plate and place it over his face because he was looking at this particular plate and then he said that it's not good, it's sour, and the two old people who owns the shop be like sour, and the kid is like, ugh, and then he just covers up his face with the plate with embarrassment. I find it to be funny. So we go to Shoma. Shoma is shopping at the grocery store, and then he spots the candy man that he always, visits his store, And so after, the grocery store, they end up walking and talking. And Shoma was wondering, so you didn't open your store today? And like, no, I'm taking a day off. I'm going to visit my parents' graves. They were taken away too soon. And then as further along the conversation, here comes Hanto. And by the way, Hanto only shows up in this particular scene, and that's it. He's gone after this. So Hanto shows up, and then Shoma introduces Hanto to the Candyman, and the Candyman, says, hey, like if you're in town around my shop, you're welcome to come by and whatnot. And then he leaves, and then the boyfriends are alone. Shoma asks, like, hey, if you're not too busy, you want to come to the office and make some desserts, and we're going to go to the cave and whatnot. And Hanto's like, no, remember, I don't like sweets. So I'm okay. Besides, I have work to do. And so, like, okay. And so they split off. And Hanto is still looking for Shoma's extended family and whatnot, and that's pretty much it there. So we go to as the Ganyu world turns, and Glotta storms in at the lab. Neylv today is so annoyed. I think he's having a bad day. Neylv is like, wow, what? Am I Mr. Popular today? He's like, has this look on his face like, oh, great, not more people coming in. And so Glotta is upset at Neylv because, hey, like, why am I the last to hear that Jeeph made this decision of, installing this hideous Gavv that, that came from, our bastard brother, why did he do such a thing? And how come you or him didn't come to me and at least give you guys my 2 cents about the situation? Because I'm sure Glotta will go against it, right? But she's upset. She's ultimately upset that she's the last to hear and she never got a word edgewise. And Neylv is like, well, what difference would it make if you had this talk or not? Because knowing you, he said, and I quote, you solve your problems physically. Like you don't solve your problems like the normal way. You had to go through like beating people up and just being, physical, right? That's how you solve your problems. Like, what does it matter? And also, just to add this too, guys, again, Jeeph is crazy. Do you seriously think he will be listened to, like listen to reason? He has gone off the deep end, okay? he is crazy. It wouldn't have mattered one way or the other. I think he was still would have done the surgery at the expense of looking at this thing and be like, oh man, I can't believe I'm using my disgrace of a brother's Gavv. Like, it doesn't matter if it's red or black. It's just like, and he even said too, like, I did this surgery and had this hideous thing installed in me. It's so ugly and it just reminds me of Shoma. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's crazy. Anyways, so she's angry, and Neylv pointed out, like, no, it wouldn't make much of a difference. And also, just to add insult to injury, it's like, are you upset at the fact that Jeeph never came to you? Instead, he came to his wife, Lizelle? And that's where Glotta tells Neylv, look, we need to be a family, okay? Because we just lost Lango. We just lost Sheeta. We're the only 3 members of our family that's left standing. Come on. We need to be a family. We need to have, this united front. We need to, like, be a family, right? And tell each other about our problems. But again, weren't you even a family? Your family is shit. Come on. You didn't mourn Sheeta's death. I don't remember you guys mourning Lango's death. It's all about business. It's all about business. You guys never once shared like an ounce of love towards each other since, I don't know, ever? And it always goes back to the father, Papa Stomach. It's Papa Stomach's fault for being a bad father. And the mother, I don't know. It's bad parenting. It is. And you guys are little monsters. It is what it is, right? But, Glotta is pissed off and she's realizing, well, thanks to Neylv, like, well, are you really upset because you haven't been given the news, or the fact that Jeeph never came to you for some advice before doing the procedure because of Lizelle? And Glotta just like, what are you talking about? Are you insulting me? Blah, 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 blah. She is pissed to the point where she just knocks the iPad away from Neylv. That's how mad she was. And then you notice the picture of Dente on Neylv's iPad, and she picks it up and look at Neylv. He's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Now I have to explain this too. Yeah, Neylv is not having a good day right now. And Glotta asked Neylv, like, Uncle Dente's alive and you knew about this? And he starts confessing, like, he has been living on Earth for quite a while and he's been helping the Red Gavv and nah, that was it. Yeah. He's like, oh, shit. I mean, good, because look, he still hasn't got caught yet in regards for making Rakita the driver, right? And helping him until he turned traitor. Like, he still hasn't gotten caught by that yet, but I don't think he will ever will. But, yeah, I mean, luckily... Neylv, all I can tell you is you're lucky that Lango isn't around, because I'm sure he would have been pissed off at you for keeping Uncle Dente's, existence on Earth alive, and you didn't do anything. Because I'm sure you would say why you didn't tell the family that Uncle Dente is living on Earth. Because I'm sure Lango would have killed him or something. I don't know. But in any case, we go to the Happy Parade offices. And we get this scene of our heroes making the mix, just preparing for the finishing touches at the cave, because, at the cave there's limited resources they can use. So they figured, let us just start on our stuff at the office, and then we will go to the cave and finish the whole desserts thing. And before I leave the scene, there was a cute couple of scenes with the Cachizos where they mimic Shoma's cutting the fruit, and I thought it was really cute, just to add. And also Rakita being all funny in a way of he's trying to mix the mix, And he's noticed that, oh, I need to go faster and faster because I think he's the only one who hasn't finished his batter yet. And then Sachika checks on him and says, like, yeah, you need to mix it a little bit more. And he gets frustrated. So we get to Uncle Dente. So Uncle Dente gets a surprising visit from Glotta. And we have this interesting conversation between the two, and a shocker. Okay. So she starts with, I haven't seen you in a long time, and you've gotten older since I've seen you last, right? And, she just goes at him and be like, look, our family is in shambles. Our parents are gone. Lango and Sheeta are gone. Jeeph and Neylv decide to jump on the president train. I'm all alone. But technically she didn't really said like I'm alone. But she just pointed out that her family's in shambles. The company belongs to somebody else. And she wants to take Dente with her to take back control of the company. But the thing is that even if Dente decides to go back to the Ganyu world and find a way to take back the company, it's impossible because it's at the hands of the president. And if the Stomach family decides to fight back, chances are that the president is going to throw the family under the bus by calling the police and also just taking them out of the business. The business will be gone, the family will be in jail, and the president will be scot-free. Like, I don't know, I just discovered this, So she doesn't know that, but she thinks that Dente will come in and just take the company back, which I don't think so, regardless if he wanted to do it or not. And Dente hit the nail in the coffin where he realized that, hey, Glotta, I think you're just lonely because you just said that your family is in shambles right now and you're all alone. And he figured, hey, there's a way out. But as he was continuing talking, you see Glotta just refusing to believe the words that were coming out of his mouth. She was just crashing out to the point where she throws Dente on the ground, unleashes her scythe, and just tells Dente to stop talking. Please stop talking. But he still keeps talking, where he said, look, I know you're lonely and you're not fooling me. You're not fooling yourself either. And I know you think yourself as strong, but you're not weak either. You're just like, you're feeling lonely, and that's okay. And there is a way to cure your loneliness. You can come here, live on Earth. You can live with me, and you could reconcile with Shoma. You have a brother. You have another brother. But of course, Glotta refuses to accept that. She keeps saying, shut up, shut up, shut up. And like, you can live with me, you can live with Shoma, we could have our own mini family. But of course, she yells, shut up, and she swings her scythe. And then it immediately cuts off where our heroes are, with their stuff and trying to enter the cave. But then they discover Glotta hovering over Dente's body, and they're in shock, for one thing, seeing the sister there, and two, seeing Dente's body lifeless. And Glotta says before she leaves is like, I have not fallen that far enough to reconcile with the Red Gavv. Like, I'm crazy, but I'm not broken. And she walks away, and after she walked away, our heroes approach Dente, and unfortunately, Rakita confirmed it, like, he's gone. And you can see the wound on the stomach area, and, it's just, everybody's in disbelief. Rakita notices the scar and notices that, wait a minute, this slash mark looks similar to to the one Kamen had in his back, and he concluded that maybe, just maybe, Glotta was the one who killed his little brother. So he decides to go after her into the forest. So we get to the forest scene. Glotta is like slowly walking away, and she refused to believe what Dente told her about her being lonely. Like, I can't believe she said that to me. I am strong. I'm not weak. There's no way in hell that I'm going to reconcile with Shoma. Are you kidding me? And then you see, an arrow go past Glotta, and Rakita immediately attacks her. And then he goes on like, so it was you killed my little brother. And Glotta and Rakita, I love this scene so much, where we get to see both actors just without the suits on, and we get to see a mini wrestling match, which, by the way, Glotta was on top. You see her just like doing a chokehold, just wrestling moves. I'm like, that's super cool. And I think it was all them. Like, I don't think they were stunt doubles. I think they did it. And if it's them, I mean, kudos to them. Bravo. So we had an interesting wrestling match, and as they were wrestling, Glotta was like, how would I remember? I killed so many part-timers over the years. I mean, I would have forgotten. And even if she did remember this little Ganyut, why would she care? Why would she care? And we get to see that sad scene of Glotta, taking the sight slash onto poor little Kamen, and you can hear that scream, that, oh my God, that was terrible. Oh, just hearing that little boy scream, that was just horrible. And we have these cool scenes where, you see Glotta, doing a choking Rakita to the tree, and then just lets him fall on the side, but he does this trick with his foot and just tries to attack her, but counters with the headbutt. And then we get their transformation, and I remember she ends up giving his weapon back to Rakita, and they end up fighting for a little bit, but unfortunately for Rakita, he gets another defeat. So that's his fourth defeat. Because Glotta is too powerful. She's too strong. She's more of a fighter. I think she's even to Lango, I believe. But she's very tough. And she easily defeats Rakita with ease and decides to kill him, because remember, he has a bounty on his head. So she was about to kill him, but luckily Shoma stepped in at the nick of time. He becomes over Gavv and punches her back to the Ganyu world. And Shoma checks up on Rakita, and you see him get really upset, and you see him pounding on the ground, and he's just like, he's frustrated, and then that's how the episode ends. Yeah, I have to say, guys, this is like the fourth time, I believe, but I lost count on how many times Dente died. But I get this feeling after the confirmation from Nikita, and also that wound that he has on his body. I think it's legit. I think Dente is officially dead. And it leads to this situation that I told you guys before. If Dente managed to get killed before the finale, is that who's gonna do the repairs for the drivers if they get broken? Who's gonna do medical exams on Hanto, knowing that he cannot go to a hospital because of the Ganyu organ that he has in his body? And also, Dente was working on the antidote. And now that he's dead, there's no way to finish the antidote. And there's no researchers around. So our heroes are now in this situation. Unless they were to find a scientist between episode 40 into the finale, they're screwed at the moment. But like I told you guys before, I was just so tired of Gavv created pulling this stunt of, oh, Dente's dead in this episode, but in the next episode he's okay, and then they do the same thing. I'm like, are you gonna kill him or not? If you're gonna kill him, just do it. If not, just don't do it, because I was so tired of the whole pulling under the carpet thing with Dente. Like, is this it? Is Dente gonna die? Like, it points to it, but no, it turns out that it's not. But I don't know. Dente maybe has 3 lives left. I don't know, but we had to wait and see. But in the previews, we saw Dente on the phone and like a recording of his, assuming that maybe he is dead, but I don't know. Who knows? Like, even if he is not dead, right? Let's just say, where are you going to take him? That's my question. If he is barely alive, right? Where are you going to take him? To a hospital? And how are you going to enter the Ganyu world? How? Like, Rakita is most wanted over there. And Shoma, well, Shoma will have a better time, but still, it's just too much of a risk of him taking Dente to the Ganyu world and getting him fixed. It's just too much. So, yeah, that's the question. If Dente is alive, how are they gonna help him recover? If Dente is dead, which points out that, yeah, he is dead, then how would our heroes move past this, knowing that he is the only researcher that can, fix drivers and just being a scientist? I mean, I don't know. We will see. And like I said, we only have 10 episodes left. Glotta, I mean, I don't feel bad for her. Yes, she's lonely, but she's also a monster. She killed a lot of Ganyuts. She killed a lot of people, mainly Shoma's mom, remember? And I don't feel bad for her. And the only thing maybe I feel bad for her is just seeing her family falling apart. But I mean, that's her karma. That's everybody's karma. Jeeph is crazy. It's becoming crazier by an episode. Neylv is starting to get frustrated for some reason. And Lizelle is being more of a brat than usual. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. She needs to go. I'm sorry. She needs to go. There's no redemption with her. There's no redemption with Jeeph because he's far gone. Neylv, well, he's only in it for himself. I don't think there's redemption qualities in him. The whole family is gone. It's gone. I mean, there's no way to save them from themselves. And I wish I knew what led them towards the dark side. But again, it always goes back to the parents. I mean, we saw a glimpse how Papa Stomach treated his kids. It's horrible. And Mama is confirmed that she is dead too. I don't know how she was, how she parents and all that stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I don't feel bad for her. I really don't. And then Hanto is still looking for Shoma's extended family, and it all points to the candy store owner. Like, it makes sense. Like, why would these creative decides to cast this man ever since the debut, he's been constantly showing up, and I'm like, is it possible that this man could be related to Shoma? 99% yes, because why else is he in the show for? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's pretty obvious when you think about it, unless the writers decides to make a fast one and like, no, I made you guys think that he's related to Shoma, but he's not. Then who is he then? Why is he constantly getting screen time? That's my question. But, I believe that he's related to Shoma. He's just right there. And what else am I missing? I think that's it, guys. I mean, we all know that by next week, Rakita is going to have his final form, and chances are Glotta may be the next guy nude on the graveyard shift. And then it leads crazy Jeeph and Neylv, and then of course Lizelle and the president. We have 10 episodes left. So yeah, it's going to be a rough couple of months because for good or ill, because of the writing and the rushing and all that, it's a very good show, and I don't want to see it go. But, all good things must come to an end, just like this one. So, yeah. So cherish the time that we have left with, the King of Sweets and his boyfriend Honto and the Suck Man and, of course, Sachika. Oh, my God. Oh, I don't want to see Sachika go, but yeah. But, it is what it is, right? But in any case, give me your thoughts and your opinions about this episode. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? If you disliked it, what would you change about it? Give me your thoughts and opinions about Dente. Do you think this time he is dead, or chances are he is still alive, just barely? Give me your thoughts and opinions. Like, do you want Dente to die, or you want him to live? Like, how are you going to go about, the Dente situation? If I miss anything, write it in the comments below as well, because even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed a couple of things. Give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And happy Father's Day to everybody in the mortal realm. And I will see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny.